Wall Street bounces after promote off as volatility reigns. U.S. stocks rose on Friday, an afternoon after a pointy sell-off as traders grappled with a likely recession on the heels of fee hikes by multiple international primary banks seeking to tame rising inflation. Rampant and stubbornly high inflation has unnerved investors this year as the U.S. Federal Reserve and maximum most important vital banks have begun to pivot from clean economic rules to tightening measures which will slow the economic system and potentially dent company profits. Each of the three fundamental indexes on Wall Street had been on tempo for a third consecutive weekly decline, for their third instantly weekly losses. The benchmark S&P 500 index is poised for its largest weekly percent drop, seeing that January. This volatility is possibly to continue. You usually get in recent times type of in the center wherein there may be a leap on sentiment or we are a touch bit oversold or whatever it is probably, said Ross Mayfield, investment strategist at Baird in Louisville, Kentucky. But I do not suppose we are out of the weeds of this thing, specifically with the Fed form of changing tune, he brought. The marketplace can be on area till we get more clarity of the subsequent couple of conferences, so it can be an extended summertime of this kind of interest. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 187.42 points, or 0.63%, to 30,114.49. The S&P 500 received 34.12 factors, or 0.93%, at 3,700.89, and the Nasdaq Composite brought 221.89 points, or 2.08%, at 10,867.99. The benchmark S&P index has slumped about 23% year to date and recently showed a bear marketplace began on January 3. The Dow Industrials turned into on the cusp of confirming its own undergo market. Stocks rallied on Wednesday after the Fed raised its key fee via 75 basis points, the most important hike in nearly many years, whilst the Bank of England and the Swiss National Bank also raised borrowing fees. On Friday, Fed Chair Jerome Powell all over again pressured the relevant financial institutions' consciousness on bringing returned inflation to its 2% target even as SpeakMe at a convention. Economic information on Friday showed manufacturing at U.S. factories fell inside the modern-day indication economic hobby become at the wane. Gains were led by the communique offerings and consumer discretionary sectors, which have been the two worst appearing of the 11 principal corporations on the year. In contrast, strength, the year's great acting sector, fell sharply and changed into on pace for its biggest weekly percent drop because March 2020, at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic plunge, on issues a slowing international economy may want to sap demand for crude oil. Also contributing to choppy buying and selling became the expiration of month-to-month and quarterly alternatives contracts beforehand of the Juneteenth market vacation on Monday. Advancing troubles outnumbered decliners on the NYSE by way of a 1.70 to 1 ratio. On Nasdaq, a 2.62 to 1 ratio favored advancers. The S&P 500 published one new 52-week excessive and 55 new lows. The Nasdaq Composite recorded 4 new highs and 216 new lows.